Welcome to the Infinity College Basketball Tip-Off. Tonight we're in Lexington, Kentucky for Super Tuesday basketball. Tonight's game, part of My Home Court, our week-long celebration of the great college basketball arenas and venues around the country. We're at historical Rupp Arena in Lexington.
Walls can talk. They speak to us about legacies and lives connected by college basketball. You can feel it in the floorboards, see it in the seats, hear it echo in the air. The history, the passion of all the people over the years under one roof, feeling the same pride for their teams and the traditions that were born and live on in the game's great arenas.
Rupp Arena, 23,000 plus will be on hand tonight. For the 215th time in SEC play, it's Tennessee and Kentucky getting together. The Volunteers on the road here at Rupp Arena. And our Infinity College Basketball Tip-Off from Lexington. And we welcome you, everybody. Brad Nessler, along with Jimmy Dykes and Shannon Spake. Partner, you and I have been working together a long time. We've done a lot of games in this facility. This is the home of the defending national champions. I don't think we've ever come in here, though, before when they're coming off a home conference loss.
Yeah, all is not well in the Big Blue Nation right now, Brad. But, you know, it's hard to keep it going now. Think about this. The past 5 national champions, none of them have made it past the Sweet 16 the year after winning the title. And Kentucky doesn't look like they're built to do that as well, so the streak could grow to 6. The problem with Kentucky, their freshmen are on a normal pace right now.
Right.
For freshmen. That has not been the case. It's normally an accelerated pace, but know this. They still have the pieces. They can put this thing together and make a run.
Let's talk about some of the pieces for tonight as we take a look at our one-on-one.
Well, for Tennessee, it all starts with Jordan McCray. The guy is absolutely on a roll, averaging almost 25 points a game. And he's built like a kid that came in here and got 40 on Kentucky over the weekend, Elson Turner. So you have to guard Jordan McCray hard. And Nerlens Noel, he touches the game in every area. Points, rebounds, blocks, assists, steals. Those are unbelievable numbers. Some of the best we've seen in college ball the last 10 years out of one game. This kid could still be the #1 pick in the next NBA draft.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Volunteers, Akanjo Martin. Here's how it looks. McCray, McBee, and Richardson in the backcourt with Jarnell Stokes and Kenny Hall up front. And for the hometown Wildcats, 4 freshmen and a sophomore. Harrell, Goodwin, Poitras, and the 2 big guys up front, Nerlens Noel and Willie Cauley-Stein. This has been the Infinity Tip-Off. Right now, let's take a look at how our coaches have fun with fundraising in the Infinity. It's the SEC on ESPN. Before we tip, Shannon's in the upper rafters of Rupp Arena.
Well, Brad, Rupp Arena, definitely one of the most historic venues in all of college basketball. And from all the way up here, you can really see why this place is so special. On any given night, 23,000 people flood this place with a sea of blue. This down here, all of these fans, this is Big Blue Nation. Now, before this season, Coach Calipari and the Wildcats, they had a 54-game winning streak here at Rupp, the longest since it opened in 1976. They're not the only ones that want to win here, though. Last year, after Tennessee lost here at Rupp, Jarnell Stokes went on record and said before he leaves the University of Tennessee, he plans on winning here at Rupp Arena.
Let's see how aggressive Jarnell is tonight, then, as he gets a shot this evening. Coach Calipari, 4th season at Kentucky, coming off a national championship, and as Shannon said, before that loss to Baylor, he'd won 54 straight. Since, they've lost to Texas A&M as well, so they've lost 2 here. Akanjo Martin's 2nd year at Tennessee, 27 and 21. Tonight, trying to avoid the first 0-3 start in SEC play for Tennessee in 15 years. Tough place to try to break that string. The officials tonight, Michael Roberts, Ron Groover, and Tony Green has got the ball in hand.
Yeah, Kentucky's lack of defense cost them against Texas A&M. The Turner kid lit him up. But he had a lot of open looks. He could have gotten 50. And Kentucky has to tighten up their perimeter defense. And it's going to start with Archie Goodwin tonight. Can he lock down Jordan McCray?
Kentucky controls the tap. Noel out on top. And here is Goodwin, lobbing it right back inside to the big guy. Tried to get it down on the baseline to his teammate Cauley Stein and threw it away. So Kentucky 1 possession and 1 turnover.
Tennessee opens up defending that on-ball action, allowing the bigs of Kentucky to rim run. Texas A&M jammed all that action, really bottled things up.
Here's an open look for McCray, who Jimmy just talked about. And the rebound, trying to save it down in the corner and doing a good job of it is Poitras. Noel has to kick it back outside. Cauley Stein with the left hand.
Well, the double action doesn't come quick enough. Cauley Stein and Noel both are averaging 18 points combined as starters, shooting about 74%. And the closer the ball gets to the rim, the better those two guys are.
And they get about 17 rebounds between the two of them as well. McCray at the point. This is the 4th game that he's played a lot at the points. McBee gives it back to him with 6 on the shot clock. Entry pass down to Stokes, and he's bumped by Cauley Stein.
Jarnell Stokes has to demand that basketball if Tennessee's going to stay in this game in Rupp Arena. And Conzo Martin has been very specific with him. I want 15 shots out of you tonight.
Says I want 15 free throws too, even though you're only going to make half of them. Entry pass in low, shot won't go, and a rebound comes off to Kentucky. And it's Noel. The kick out to Harrell. Poitras, strong move on the baseline, lost the ball, but he got it back inside.
Now, Brad, a bad play by Richardson. Got to throw that ball at the feet. You can't throw it to the midsection where the hands are.
Kentucky opens up. 4-point lead, a little backcourt pressure.
That's the matchup up top I'm talking about. Goodwin on McCray.
McBee's going to try a 3 and got it. That's what he does best.
Brad, he shot the ball well in warm-ups, and this is a kid that's only made 5 out of his last 25 coming in. But he shot the ball well in warm-ups, and it looks good coming off of his hand.
Noel squares up on the baseline. Now he's going to try to work with the left hand. Good looking move, just didn't finish. And Stokes with a rebound.
Tennessee not doubling down early to start this game on Noel or Cauley Stein, either one.
Here's Stokes down low. Had it rejected by Noel. And as they hit the deck, he got it back, and he's trying to hand it off to his teammates. And possession arrow is going to keep it in Tennessee's hands.
Partner, if you don't move the second big of Kentucky on defense, Kentucky's going to rack up 10, 11, 12 block shots in a ball game. You have to move Nerlens Noel out on the floor. The second big is the guy that's going to be the center racer. Bam! And this time it's Nerlens Noel, as good as anybody in the country at doing it.
His 57th block shot of this season so far. Around a pick. Jumper goes for Josh Richardson, and Tennessee in front by 1.
You have to make a ton of mid-range floater-type shots against Kentucky. You're not going to get a lot of stuff in Zone A. On the box, you have to make those 15-footers.
Kyle Wilcher in the lineup for the first time gets a wide-open look, and you can't leave him alone. He's too good a shooter.
Now, Brad, he's a pick-and-pop guy, but now what Tennessee has to do is make Kyle Wilcher defend. You have to make Wilcher give up more points than he's going to score.
Stokes, nice pass on the baseline, and an easy deuce for Kenny Hall on the flush.
And they go right at Kyle Wilcher. John Calipari does. He's the double guy, and he got there late and allowed the pass.
Wilcher now picks up his dribble. Trey Golden in the lineup now at the point for Tennessee as well. Goodwin with 10 on the shot clock. Crossover against McBee, has to pick up his dribble. Back out to Harrell, he'll take a 3. Rims out, and Stokes an easy rebound. A couple of guys get tangled up and hit the deck while Golden takes it down court. Trey Golden was one of the keys, Conzo Martin told us at the shoot-around today, that he and Stokes have to be what they are and have to do what they do best all night long. Stokes inside. So far, he's doing okay, but again, the shot was altered by Noel. Got good position on it.
But Stokes, he struggles with length, Brad. He's not going to get a lot of clean looks right around the rim in this ball game.
Noel, one dribble, and Stokes made him pick it up. Wilcher, three. Off the front of the rim, Golden with the rebound.
Well, Tennessee really shrinking their defense against Kentucky, which is exactly what Conzo wanted to start this game.
A B, wide open triple. Noel will clear the glass. Harrow on the drive, found a little bit of an avenue, and he got it off the glass and one.
Brad, when Wilcher comes onto the floor for Kentucky, those drive lanes open up because you have to respect his shooting ability. Harrow read it well and did a good job at taking the first hit. Well done, Ryan Harrow.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Toyota Care, caring for you and your car. DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. And Broken City, Friday, only in theaters.
Always the busiest place in Kentucky when the Wildcats are playing at Rupp Arena. My old Kentucky home. Jimmy was home here as a coach at one time. 142 of the 167 games. Shannon mentioned 54 straight home games victories for John Calipari. 24 national attendance titles, including 16 of the last 17 years. It's quite a place if you've never had an opportunity to see a game here. If you get a chance, head to Lexington.
Partner, my very first time in this building as an assistant coach for Kentucky, after practice, I went to the very top row of section 230 and just sat there for a long time and just took it all in. And it is an amazing building that I think every college player in the country, there's three arenas they want to play. Rupp Arena, Cameron Indoor, and Fog Allen Fieldhouse. I think every college guy wants to go through there once.
Three-point play completed after the timeout by Harrow. Gives Kentucky a 2-point lead.
The energy level of Goodwin on McCray is good to start this game. Caboosing him all over the floor, and he just circle cut him.
Nice move. The left hand is Jordan McCray. He had to really get that up on the glass, too, to keep it out of the reach of Nerlens Noel. Wilcher got a wide open look again. He had 7 of those against Lipscomb earlier this year, a career high. You just can't leave him that open.
Now, Tennessee's trying to shrink the floor defensively, and John Calipari recognized it and goes to Wilcher early.
Eric Reese, freshman on the floor for Tennessee. There's Stokes down low, and he's not going to miss that one when he gets that body in use. Nice entry pass as well.
One of the few times in Stokes' career he's caught the ball with an angle drop step and put it on the glass. Terrific job of a duck move by Stokes.
And a nice overplay on Noel's by Stokes. And this tie-up is going to go in Kentucky's favor.
Now Goodwin is caboosing McCray all over the floor. And you're going to watch McCray. Watch him right here at the center of this screen. That's a circle cut right off of Jarnell Stokes, and Archie Goodwin's chasing instead of defending. And that's the duck move I'm talking about. Bam, you never see that type of a play out of Jarnell Stokes. For a kid that's 275 pounds, he's not normally a big target. That time he was, an easy 2 points.
So Kentucky to inbound on the baseline. Julius Mays will bring it in. Jared Paulson also on the floor for Kentucky. Goodwin Trying to dish it back outside. Got the ball back himself and then had it slapped in his face by Josh Richardson. And on the other end, Tennessee cuts. In fact, takes the lead back by 1.
Boy, a sign that you're not ready to play is giving up points in transition. That ball came all 94 feet. That's where Tennessee first got their hands on it.
Ollie Stein way out on top. From the elbow, jumper is going to be short. Easy rebound for Derek Reese. Tennessee has quieted the crowd in a big-time way here with 12.5 minutes to go in the first half. Playing with a 1-point lead on the road. McCray got it up off the window over everybody.
Kid can make hard shots.
Ollie Stein missed a hook. The rebound comes off to Trey Golden. 3-point Tennessee advantage. Volunteers feeling frisky right now. Richardson thought about a 3 and instead brings it back on top. Golden, no place to go with that. 3 defenders on him and he turns it over.
At Tennessee, though, they're able to take the basketball anywhere they want to take it to start this game. And Kentucky, they continue to take the ball into the crowd. But again, that defense has shrunk. They're shrinking the gaps, just waiting on it. And then you turn it over on one end and give up transition basket at the other. Your energy level and your alertness is not ready.
Poitras trying to work around McCray, and in the process is fouled. McCray picks up his first. 11:48 remaining in the first half. Tennessee surprising some people right now at Rupp Arena and up by 3. .48 remaining first half. Tennessee's opened up a 3-game lead, a 3-point lead. Jimmy doing a good job so far.
Well, you know what? They've had 13 possessions, Tennessee has, Brad, and they've gotten 10 points in Zone A. And a lot of coaches talk about being in the box, or some coach refer to it as Zone A. It's not easy to get points against Kentucky in Zone A.
Right.
Texas A&M the other day, their 28 out of their 30 half-court points against Kentucky came outside of Zone A. So Tennessee has established they're getting stuff done around the rim. That's a big concern for John Calipari as this game starts.
I'm sure that's what he told him during that last time out. Gonzo Martin's team doing a good job on the inside and in transition as well. 10 points, 50% so far. And Tennessee with the ball and a 3-point cushion.
The Kentucky set half-court defense. The Texas A&M time and time again got shots outside of Zone A. They pulled off the upset, and Tennessee is getting shots inside that box to start the game.
Elston Turner had 40 points in that game, one of the biggest nights ever by an opponent here at Rupp Arena. Went 14 out of 19 from the floor. So a huge night for him in that 83-71 win.
Third most by an opposing player in this building, right?
Yep.
David Robinson racked up 45. Chris Jackson, 41.
Golden works the baseline, goes all the way around the big bodies and back on top. And McCray with 6 on the shot clock, a whistle, and a 3-second violation.
That's a big call because that shot by McCray was pure. Didn't even hit the rim.
Instead of a 6-point lead, it's the second turnover by Tennessee.
Kentucky now back with both bigs on the floor, and this is where they like to jam the ball inside around the rim and play power ball with you.
Mays around a pick, picked up by McBee. Entry pass almost stolen by Stokes. Paulie Stein comes up with it, kicks it back out. Harrow's triple is too strong, but kept alive by the big fella. He's going to work inside against Stokes again. Doesn't go. It was a nice move. He gets a third try. No, he won't. Going to be a foul instead. ESPN's journey to the tourney is season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Thursday night, 2 of the top teams in the Big Ten square off. It's the Wolverines and the Golden Gophers. Thursday at 7 on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN.
Well, how good is Michigan's offense, huh? Average at 1.23 points per possession. That's the best in the nation.
Had an opportunity to be the #1 team in the country and let that slip away over the weekend. Here's a steal by Harrell. Stokes with a rebound, though. And they're going to use those big arms to clear out Noel. And Tennessee now has had 3 turnovers in the last 4 possessions.
Well, a missed opportunity by Kentucky. You know what? Golden turned it over, but he didn't let one mistake become 2. He hustled back and threw up a wall, and then Stokes with some energy cleans it up.
So far, Golden's been a little bit shaky, though. Poitras knocks down a 3 to tie it at 15.
And they need that from Poitras, Brett. He can take the ball to the rim about any time he wants with his shoulder strength and his quick first step. And when he starts knocking those shots down, he becomes a half step quicker.
McCray got around Goodwin. Tough jump shot. He got it.
Brett, those are the shots you have to make against Kentucky outside of Zone A. They're too good around the rim.
Arrow found an open avenue and nobody closed the door on it. Looked like Stokes maybe should have stepped in and made him make a tougher shot, but he didn't. A little over 9 to play. First half, 17 apiece. Kenny Hall has to kick it back out. 6 on the shot clock. McCray might have to do his magic again. Gets his man in the air and throws it up there. Would have been an air ball, but it's Poitras who pulled it out. And then Tennessee tips it away from him. And now McCray got a better look and got it to go. Up and down the floor right now. Goodwin has it knocked out of bounds. No foul. It will be Kentucky basketball.
Got to go back to the drive of Kentucky and Ryan Harrow. Watch Golden right here. He's got to get over the top of that or underneath it with some urgency. That's not much of a screen by Wiltshire, and Golden kind of gives up on the play with the first contact, and Harrow just chews it up. And that's why Trey Golden has been jerked out of that starting lineup.
Yeah, Tony Green has a little talk with the big fellas on the inside as there was a little shoving going on before the inbounds pass. 3-pointer. Wiltshire, his second of the night.
Can't let it happen. You have to be in contact with Wiltshire when the official hands the ball to the out-of-bounds passer. Because Wiltshire just slipped to the corner, wide open.
Got 35 threes on the year and shooting 42% out there. And whistle and a foul. It'll be on Harrell. And again, Tony Green is telling these guys, okay, the officials are going to grab control of this thing right now and not let it get any chippier than it is already.
Well, that's a... Well, just maybe tagged his chin a little bit on the second time through by McBee. And I think they'll have to check this.
So both teams head to their respective benches. Tony Green goes to the headset on the monitor on the far side.
An offensive player, Brad, is responsible for his action up top. Like the rule or not, that's how it reads. And the first time McBee cleared the ball from the right side to the left side, he was fine. That move's fine, but coming back right there. I think the right elbow clipped Harrow, and contact above the shoulders will be a flagrant 1.
And then there's the shoulder. And that's really where the foul call came. It wasn't at this point, but they're going back to see. Let's put it this way. McBee has got more chin hair than Harrow does. And there's the shoulder and the collision on the top of the screen.
Again, it's not that move. It's right here. Watch the right elbow. Boom, right there. There's not a lot of contact there, but there is contact. And the rule book doesn't designate soft contact, hard contact. It says contact.
So now the three officials, Michael Roberts, Ron Groover, and Tony Green, will talk it over.
They also were looking at something after the elbow play,
right?
Correct?
They're looking at Harrow's chest bump or shoulder that he threw into McBee. Unless I'm wrong, and I could be, I think the foul was called on Harrow for the second collision that you saw, the shoulder that he threw into McBee. Then when they went back to the monitor, they realized with that elbow that we might have a different situation. So I know that they're going to clean it up, and at some point they'll come over and tell Jimmy. Again, here's the first, and I don't think there was anything called there at all. And now play continues. There's been no whistle. Now the pass, and now you're going to see a shoulder thrown into McBee. Or actually both guys collide shoulders. And so now both coaches talking with Tony as well to try to square it away.
Well, Brad, they saw the elbow contact on the monitor.
But the whistle wasn't blown at that time. It was blown on the second contact made between those two guys.
Yep. But it occurred right in front of John Calipari's bench, and I'm sure he was quickly in the ear of Tony Green talking about the initial elbow contact by McBee on Harrow.
Well, this one's taking a while to clear up. It looks like we're going to have a shot taken by Harrow on one end. So there's going to be, I think, a flagrant foul called on Tennessee, and that's what's got Harrow at the free throw line. And the common foul on the other end on Harrow will stay in effect if I'm not mistaken. But Jimmy's got the explanation for
Yeah,
us.
I thought that's what it would end up. They did go to monitor. They saw the flagrant foul, the flagrant one by McBee. So Harrow shoots those free throws, and then it was a common foul called after the elbow foul was called against Tennessee. So now Kentucky's ball at the point of interruption. Something that you seldom see, a flagrant one followed by a common foul that they have to go sort through.
Wilcher on the drive all the way around. Nice scoop shot with a right hand, and Kyle Wilcher has got 10 off the Kentucky bench.
He is a lot better around the rim than people realize. He's got nice post moves. He can go either paw on you, and that time is just a controlled dribble and an attack by Kyle Wilcher.
Second time now tonight. And boy, that foul could be big. Golden goes to the rack, and it rimmed out. Noel got a hand up there and didn't touch it, but again, he altered the shot.
One of the ones you've got to make on the road, huh?
Yep. Second time tonight, the Wildcats have had a 4-point cushion. Mays is going to try to make it 7. In and out. And still loose. Two Tennessee guys were both there, and they left it alone. One of those I got it, you take it situations, and now it's Kentucky by 6. Couple of mistakes by the Volunteers, and now the crowd is fired up for the first time tonight.
Well, and really no one that Tennessee can throw the ball to on the block.
And then they throw it away to make it worse. 6:56 remaining in the first half. Wildcats have opened up a 6-point lead. And Shannon will talk with Coach Cal when we come back. Kentucky's got its biggest lead of the night, 25-19, just under 7 to play. Shannon spoke with John Calipari moments ago.
Well, the crowd has certainly gotten into this game. What were you told about those two fouls, Coach?
Well, we saw the elbow to the face, and that's why I said, I mean, you can call a foul on my guy, but there was an elbow to the face, and they went over to the screen. There's a good crew.
You talked to your guys this week about buying into the system. Who has
Not
proven?
a system. What it is we got to trust that you're going to do what you're supposed to do for this team. Our system is about these kids. So we play how they need to play. But each guy's got to buy into their role and what their job is on this team.
Thanks, Coach.
First 10 minutes, Jimmy, I don't think they were doing that. The last 3 or 4, I think they've started to.
You know, always a challenge if you're the coach of Kentucky is to quiet the noise around your guys. And that noise comes in the form of family members and high school coaches and friends weighing in on, you got to do this, you should play like that. And you have to quiet the noise around your guys and make sure that the one voice is your voice as the coach. And I think Calipari's going to continue to fight those guys on that a little bit. And the quicker they understand that one voice is the only one voice that matters, the better off they'll do.
Another turnover. Trey Golden's not having a good game. Harrow outside 3. And the rebound will come off to Jordan McCray. Here's a wide open triple on the baseline, and it goes. That's a big shot by Armani Moore.
What I love about Armani Moore, he's as tough a guy that Tennessee can put on the floor. He went 3 games in a row without even playing a minute. He told his mom, don't call coach complaining why I'm not playing. And very few kids understand that. They're not tough enough to just man up and get it done themselves.
Played at Mount Perrin Christian in Kennesaw, Georgia. Goodwin. Wide open look again. Won't go. And the guy we just talked about, Moore with the rebound. So Tennessee trying to fight back. Cut it to 1. As we're under 6 minutes.
And Stokes has done a good job of calling the basketball and getting some deep post touches. And here he goes again.
Spins inside. You can't fade away like that against Noel, who got a piece of that one. That's the second block shot of the night for Nerlens.
Just because you can get a shot off doesn't mean you have to take it. And Stokes is collecting a crowd when he gets 2 feet in that paint, and now needs to become a passer.
Noel with Stokes on his hip. He'll kick it out just like Jimmy mentioned. And then the foul is on the outside on Armani Moore.
Brad, it's a fist fight to get in catching position and a foot fight to get the shot off. And his footwork took him away from the basket. It's a fadeaway shot because of his footwork. Now, he fades away because he's only 6'8", and Nerlens Noel is going to get everything if he doesn't go into his body.
He didn't get much of it, but he did change the trajectory on the shot that came up short. He's going to get a breather. Couple of blocks tonight for him. Poitras would have had a wide open shot at the elbow, but he didn't handle the pass. Armani Moore went up high and snatched that rebound. He's looked good since he's been on the floor. Reverse layup. Won't happen. Carly Stein will clear it ahead. Poitras tripped a little bit going in the lane, and Stokes swatted it out of there. Mays on a runner. Stokes had a hand on it, lost it to Goodwin, blocked inside by Moore. Both teams rejecting some weak shots on the inside.
And Tennessee's had a couple of chances now to get that defensive board, and not strong enough to stay up with it. Kentucky's got hot hands with the guys around the ball. They jam the ball a lot of times when you get the rebound, and you have to expect the jam to come.
Fresh shot clock, Kentucky by 3 with 4:35 remaining in the half.
Wiltshire not on the floor, so Tennessee can keep all 5 guys inside that 3-point line.
Stokes going to be called for a push by Carly Stein in the paint. And that's going to be 2 quick fouls on Jarnell Stokes. ESPN's Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. Top 10 doubleheader for you. Michigan and Minnesota both coming off losses, but both still in the top 10 at 7. And Georgia Tech and number 3 Duke and the ACC at 9 on ESPN. And you can also see it live on Watch ESPN. ESPN, the home court of college hoops on Thursday Night Showcase. So Jarnell Stokes, Conzo doesn't want him to get a cheap 3rd foul here before at least the next TV timeout. He sits with 2. Goodwin mishandled it. Tennessee going to tie him up, and they're going to get the basketball out of it.
Tennessee's getting away, Brad, with kind of feathering out that on-ball action and allowing the big for Kentucky to roll to the rim because they have the other 3 guys almost zoned up. So they're taking away that rim run by Kentucky because Kentucky can't throw the ball back to an open three-point threat right now.
McCray, tough shot, almost went. Harrow and Goodwin run together. Whoa! Missed the shot, but can you get any higher? Thought Goodwin was going to go over the backboard.
Archie Goodwin is a machine in terms of endurance, his ability to run for 40 minutes in a ball game and explode at the rim. And that time he actually got too high. That ball came off the back of the iron because of how high he exploded.
Cauley-Stein going to the free throw line, and he is not a good free throw shooter. 12 of 33 on the year. That is 36%. Another one of those guys that's hands are too big for the basketball as far as I'm concerned.
Your first time to see Cauley-Stein this year, and your first words to me were, man, this dude's huge.
Yes, he is.
And think about him in shoulder pads and a helmet as a wide receiver in high school.
Played 9 games in 2011, caught 57 balls for 1,140 yards and 14 touchdowns. That is a target if you're a quarterback. Got the second one.
Now Tennessee is all perimeter on the offensive end. Got Stokes on the floor. Kentucky knows that they go zone to make sure they shade those perimeter shooters of Tennessee.
McCray backs it out. 10 on the shot clock. McCray got a look. Got it. Three-pointer.
Just a little bit of a brush screen up top allowed McCray to have room to get vision of that rim.
11 for McCray. Jimmy told you in our one-on-one last 3 games and over the SEC game so far, averaging 24 points a game, and he's en route to another one of those nights. Noel couldn't connect on the inside, and McCray with a rebound. Tennessee with a chance to lead with 3 minutes to go. Quick first step. Golden's wide open. Couldn't get it to go, and Noel will clear it ahead to Harrell.
But I don't like a shot by Golden. Kentucky doesn't have a guy on the floor that can handle Jordan McCray, and he never got a touch.
Cauley-Stein looked like an up and down, maybe a walk. No call. Whoa. He leaves it up there for Cauley-Stein, does Harrow, and he's not going to miss those.
You've got to keep Kentucky out of the lane, and you have to keep Kentucky from playing volleyball around the rim. That is a must. McCray needs to go to work. I don't think Kentucky can check him right now. They're too small.
Got a foul on the inside with 2:24 remaining. Kentucky, 3-point lead. Gonzo Martin talks with Shannon when we come back.
Chris Cotter in our ESPN College Basketball Studios. Coach Greenberg and Jay Williams are going to join me at the UPS halftime report. We'll take a closer look at Victor Oladipo. It's Indiana and Wisconsin following the Vols and Cats on ESPN. Meanwhile, over on ESPN2, from the Garden, it's St. John's and Notre Dame. We'll show you highlights of a close one between the Fighting Irish and the Red Storm. And we'll take a look at a couple of SEC sleepers. We may pay a visit to Oxford and College Station to do so. That's coming up on the UPS halftime report. Back to Brad and Jim.
All right, Chris, thanks. 3-point game, 2:24 till we join you guys at halftime. And Shannon talked with Gonzo just moments ago.
Coach, Jordan McCray, 11 points right now. What's working well for him?
He's doing a good job of being aggressive, taking good shots. He's also attacking the rim.
6 turnovers, however. What are you going to say to your guys about those?
Got to take care of the basketball. It's a very talented team in a hostile environment. Got to do a great job making plays, taking care of the basketball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
It's a good thing, Jimmy, that Jordan McCray is playing the way he is from the perimeter, because Tennessee hasn't taken a free throw, and we're almost at halftime.
You know, this is a Tennessee ball club, Brad, that to me, Jordan McCray is growing into the guy. And he might be one of the harder guys to guard in the SEC when this thing's all said and done. But again, you can't rely on getting the ball in the box against Kentucky. It's just too hard to do, and they do it off the out-of-bounds play. Again, a sign that Kentucky's not alert. They have too much size to allow that play to happen.
Good out-of-bounds play for Derek Reese, who's got 4. And it's a 1-point game. Last time we were here, and the last time Tennessee was here, not quite a year ago, and it was no contest, 69-44 Wildcats. But that was a whole group of guys that are playing in the NBA now. This is a whole new group for the most part. Wiltshire, the leading returning scorer for the Wildcats. He got it in his hands, and he didn't get that shot away in time. Shot clock violation by about a half second.
And it is not reviewable as you go back to the Kentucky-Vanderbilt game last Thursday. Kentucky fans understand that. The cut's going to happen here. And Nerlens Noel, the defender, he goes over the top, but he doesn't go with urgency. You have to slide underneath that play. The guy Noel is guarding is not a shot threat. He's a roll to the rim threat. And another mistake by Kentucky off the out of bounds.
Off the glass, Tennessee's back in front, courtesy of Josh Richardson. Here's Goodwin in traffic. And he drew a foul. Foul will be on Josh Richardson. He just scored on the other end. That's Richardson's first. Archie Goodwin, 2 points is all for a guy averaging just under 16.
Brad, what makes him hard to guard, in my estimation, 100 free throw attempts is the best in the SEC. So he's got a foulable game, and he handles the first hit. It's a big-bodied guard that you put contact on that doesn't knock him off of his path. It's another reason why he gets to the free throw stripe so many times. And I think he has a pro first step. I don't think he's ready for the pro game yet, but he has a pro first step for a kid 6'5", and that's the three things that make this kid hard to guard.
Freshman out of Little Rock. Those are his first 2 free throws of the night, and he gets them both and gives Kentucky the lead back. Golden on the dribble. And that's maybe the best move that he's made tonight.
Well, really strong floater out of Golden. That's a hard shot now. He's going 100 miles an hour, and he has to back it down just a little bit to keep that floater under control.
Here's Noel on the inside, and he's fouled. I think it's going to be on Macanjula. No, it's not. It's going to be on Derek Reese. That's his first.
Again, Kentucky doesn't get their defense set. They were stretched out a little bit. And Trey Golden's ability to hit that runner. If you're a 6'1", 6'2" guard, and you can't make that floater, that runner, you're cutting down your chances of scoring by about 25%. That's how big that shot is to a kid the size of Golden.
Just ask Tony Parker.
Absolutely.
Noel. This is not a good free throw shooting team as a unit. Kentucky. Noel's under 60%. I mentioned Cauley Stein 36%. As a team, just under 65% for the Wildcats.
Noel has not shown us everything he has in his bag of tricks in this ball game, but he could very well be the first guy taken. Ben McLemore at Kansas could also move up to that spot. Anthony Bennett at UNLV, 3 freshmen, I think are in the running for that #1 pick in the next draft.
Tennessee maintains the lead after the 2 missed free throws, and going to be a foul on a pick by Macanjula.
Well, Archie Goodwin does a terrific job of blowing up an on-ball handoff. Watch Goodwin right here. I mean, he's going to blow it up, and Macanjula steps in with that left hip. But if Archie Goodwin is not dialed in and trying to blow that play up, he doesn't get the call.
There's a runner by a tall guy.
That's when you become a guy at the next level. When you're that size and you can make that shot.
Goodwin gives the Wildcats the lead. Shot clock is down to 20.
They have a timeout to use right now, Tennessee, if they want to use it.
Golden almost stepped into the backcourt. Now he's found a little bit of an opening. Kick out. They move it. An extra pass. They throw it away. They blow away a chance to get more points before halftime. And then a foul on the other end with 2.2. That wasn't a good 15 seconds for the Volunteers.
Trey Golden should have shot the basketball. I mean, he was selfish by being too unselfish on the other end, because he had a blow-by, and he kicked the ball out, and then Tennessee ultimately turned it over. And as I talk about Archie Goodwin, his first step, Brad, on the move or off the catch is terrific.
What could have been a Tennessee lead at halftime had they gotten a shot off is probably going to be a 3-point deficit for the Vols. There's 2.2 left. And he got them both. Let's see if Tennessee can even get a shot off. Golden going to put it up at the buzzer. Whoa, and it almost went. That would have tied the game at halftime. Leading scorer for Kentucky, Kyle Wiltshire off the bench with 10, including a couple of threes. Kentucky at halftime with a 3-point cushion at home, 34-31. Time for the UPS halftime report. Chris, Seth, and Jay are standing by, guys.
Thank you, Brad. UPS halftime report. Coach Greenberg, Jay Williams here with us. Let's talk about this game at Madison Square Garden. First off, Notre Dame and St. John's. You can see this game over on ESPN2. In the first half, Notre Dame was up 2 here, and Eric Atkins, coach, I know you love this player. Look at this great drive.
This guy has a complete game. 12 points, 3 steals, 2 assists. He's one of the best lead guards in all of college basketball.
St. John's down 3 here in transition. And, Jay, St. John's has played a little bit better basketball of late, haven't they?
They have. They can push the ball in transition. Good job by Notre Dame defensively. D'Angelo Harrison, St. John's leading scorer, only with 2 first-half points.
So at this point in time right here, after the Tom Knight dunk, Notre Dame had the lead, but here's Jakar Sampson with the lay-in and the foul. And St. John's up 1 point at the break, and a good one there at Madison Square Garden. Chris Cotter, as I mentioned, along with Jay Williams and the coach, Coach Greenberg. And in this Kentucky game that we're doing right now, Jay, what are you seeing from Kentucky? Because I know a lot of people are saying, God, is the maturity coming along the way we thought from these freshmen? They're up by 3, but they've had some issues as well.
Well, I know our producer doesn't like for us to do it, but I solicited some tweets out there, and some people were questioning Kentucky's effort on the defensive end. And I'm not questioning Kentucky's effort.
I'm questioning you, questioning the producer.
No, but the fact is, I think that Kentucky at times is just out of position defensively, and they don't recognize what's going on. And this is a great clip right here. You're going to see a drive towards the right side of the court, and just Nerlens Noel, his back is turned towards the ball. He's out of position defensively. His butt should be towards the baseline. He should see his man and the ball. And granted, he missed that shot, but those little things right there are issues that came about, especially in that Texas A&M game.
Plain and simple, Kentucky has a hard time sustaining any type of effort collectively. They have no one to mimic. They have no one to imitate. They're void of those 3 upperclassmen that gave them substance. This is a work in progress.
You mentioned it's a work in progress. So without Kentucky being dominant in the SEC, Coach, it gives an opportunity for some other teams, maybe even a team that's brand new to the SEC, to shine in Texas A&M.
You know, I'll tell you, Texas A&M with a huge win at Rupp Arena, and Ole Miss. Think about the job that Andy Kennedy's been able to do at Ole Miss. But Texas A&M, Elston Turner, he put on an absolute show at Rupp Arena. He scored any which way possible. He came off down screens. This is a 6'5" senior with a physical body who can play through contact. He's shot ready, he gets behind the ball, and he can shoot it with range. And then Ole Miss, you've got to love Ole Miss. Their ability, this is grown men, this Ole Miss basketball team. right here, Reggie Bruckner taking it to the front of the rim. He is terrific in traffic. And then Marshall Henderson, junior college transfer, he never saw a shot he didn't like. And then you've got Murphy Holloway, another guy that can rebound the ball and score in the paint. The guy, Marshall Henderson, has made a difference for this basketball team. He plays with tremendous confidence. People talk about the SEC being down, you know, because Kentucky might be down a little bit. The SEC, some young teams that are getting better. Again, Ole Miss and Texas A&M, they've got a chance to play themselves in.
I'll tell you this for Ole Miss, and Coach, you talked about him a lot. If you don't know the name Marshall Henderson, you better check him out. I mean, he's one of the most exciting players to watch, not only in the SEC, but I think in the country.
You know, Andy Kennedy has 5 20-win seasons at Ole Miss. He's gone to the NIT in each of those 5 years.
Please,
so,
I've been
sorry,
there,
Coach.
done that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up a sore subject, Coach.
He's a fellow bald-headed bubble brother, so please.
Give him some time.
Wants to be on the right side of the bubble this year. Hey, when we come back, Victor Oladipo, he certainly has helped Indiana to that top 5 ranking. Indiana taking on Wisconsin in the second game of our doubleheader. We'll tell you a little bit more about Oladipo coming up.
I gave you some love.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. And Staples. That was easy.
Love for the game flows in the blood of every Kentuckian, and respect for it lives in every inch of this arena, where the Wildcat legacy grew and thrives today.
early in the conference season. The SEC on ESPN, but an important game for both these clubs tonight. 1-0-2. Trying to avoid an 0-3 start. Kentucky trying not to lose back-to-back home games in conference play in forever. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes. Personally, I thought Tennessee outplayed Kentucky in the first half, but some late turnovers allowed Archie Goodwin to score the last 6 points, and they got a 3-point lead. And they haven't lost when they've been up at halftime.
No, they have not. Tennessee didn't close that half out very well. They missed a couple of opportunities. Think about this, though. Tennessee right in this ball game, they have not been to the free throw stripe yet. So they're hanging in this thing, and Kentucky's freshman is going to determine ultimately how far this team goes. Goodwin leads the charge right now. You know, all young kids, Brad, they're addicted to comfort. And John Calipari trying to drag these guys, and drag is what he's doing, drag that comfort level out of them, asking them to do things they've never done before on both ends of the floor. And it's just been a grind and a process that these kids are going through.
It's almost a knockdown before a buildup. And that's not how they wanted to open up the second half. Kentucky with their 7th turnover of the ball game. But again, the 9 turnovers that Tennessee had, especially the last 3, cost them a chance to have the lead at the break. Stokes, nice wraparound pass and a good opening for Kenny Hall in Tennessee.
Well, that was a pass delivered well by Stokes in a crowd. And he didn't try to fight the length above him and try to go through it. He read what the crowd told him to do.
Remember, Stokes sat down the last 4.5 minutes or so of the first half with foul trouble. Let's check in with Shannon.
Well, Brad, Trey Golden starting the second half for Tennessee as point guard. I spoke with Konzo Martin during the half. He told me he felt like he had a really good flow for the game the first 20 minutes. He felt like he was really leading these guys and got a lot of effort out of him. Also, I talked to him about not getting to the free throw line. Martin not entirely concerned about that. He did tell me he feels like his team has had really good movement.
All right, Shannon, thanks. I don't know when the last time we did a game, though, where a team didn't shoot at least one free throw.
Yeah, he's going to have some concern for it, because you can't win on the road without getting to that free throw stripe at key times, making your free throws and getting your defense set. Stokes he's working, he's demanding the ball. He's not bending over the waist like he does on film and getting knocked off balance so easily.
On the pick and roll, he got it back from Golden, and it's an offensive foul. And so they didn't want that third foul at the end of the first half. They get it in the opening minute and 20 seconds of the second half.
Brad, Jarnell Stokes is slow into and out of the on-ball action, and I'm not a big fan of him in that play, because he will just lower his head down and try to bull rush the rim, and that's exactly what he does. He never gets his eyes up until it's too late. The defense is set.
Just like that, he's sitting over there next to the coaches. Harrow on a floater, and a foul on the inside.
And again, without Kyle Wiltshire on the floor to start the second half, Tennessee should continue to shrink their defense. Shrink it down, not let Harrow, not let Goodwin, not let Poitras get in the lane and get the ball up on the board.
Harrow 2 out of 3 from the free throw line in the first half. Almost missed the rim on that one. Again, I mentioned Kentucky as a team, not great at free throws. Harrow's at 60% coming into the night. Got the second. Golden gets it inside on a nice toss to Macanjula.
Now that was well done. See how much quicker Macanjula was rolling out of that action as opposed to Stokes.
Macanjula, Konzo Martin was telling us today, maybe has one of the best basketball IQs on this team.
Yeah.
He just gets it. Limited in some of the things he can do.
Brad, you cannot let Kentucky get paint touches. They get the ball and the backboard gets exposed and allows the bigs to come in. Tennessee's going to get a knot put on their head. And they've done a good job so far in that area of not allowing that to happen.
Kentucky by 2. There's a wide open look on the outside. Kenny Hall hasn't hit a 3 all year, and he missed that one. Noel Wells looking for a touchdown low. Kicks it back outside and throws it away. Golden got it back and got lucky. Very lucky to get his hands back on that basketball, and he scored as well.
The Conzo Martin sees something that he likes out of Trey Golden because he had too many turnovers in the first half. But Conzo sees something either in the huddle or in the locker room, and he's right. Golden is aggressive in this game.
Goodwin with a strong crossover, but Richardson cuts him off. The outside shot by Poitras, his second three of the night.
If you're Tennessee, though, you'll live with that because that kid can absolutely beat you up if he gets the ball around the rim.
Quick first step. Nice ball movement by Tennessee. And then they throw it away. Arrow. Oh, what a fake. Doesn't get the shot to go.
And typically a kid that makes hard layups. Opposite hand, opposite foot stuff on film. He's good at those shots around the rim.
Golden looking for a pick and got it. Macanjula now the baseline jumper way off. Macanjula trying to keep it alive and steps on the baseline and into the camera crew there. 40-37 Kentucky by 3. Tonight's game, part of My Home Court, our week-long celebration of the great college basketball arenas and venues around the country. Lexington, Kentucky from the top row. 23,000 plus. And this is something that happens every time we're here. And great dance moves. Reminds me of Jimmy sometimes with his moves.
How about the new, I'll just go on. How about the new Kraft basketball suite that you and I walked through today about the Kentucky locker room? Whoa, my.
Incredible. Quite a home court. Almost 24,000 in here every time. Record crowd is 24,000 plus, actually. And the Big Blue Nation here hoping that their team can hang on to a 3-point lead. 15:47 remaining in the ball game.
Now the offense looks different for Kentucky. Kyle Wiltshire, a shot threat. You have to guard him like a guard, although he's 6'9", 6'10".
Different looking lineup in there right now for Kentucky. And this is the guy you got to watch out for if he gets an open look. This time he's asking it for it down low. A little different venue for him. And he drew a foul. Jimmy, we're talking about the SEC and how they have to kind of come to the plate here. We're only halfway through the season, but it's time to make some moves.
Well, the league's been down in the Big East, Big 10, and Big 12 with 6 in the RPI top 50 as of today. The SEC, Pac-12, and ACC have put themselves in the hole a little bit. There's not a lot of quality wins to be had right now in the SEC and the Pac-12 and the ACC. And as a result, you have to really make the most of your opportunities in this league right now against Florida, Missouri, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss. And that's where Kentucky's at. They're not part of that group right now. Can they play their way in there? Absolutely. Can they get enough wins on their resume before they figure it out? To be determined.
Right. Kentucky and North Carolina, neither team ranks. And in danger, of course, of not making the tournament. The last time North Carolina and Kentucky both didn't make the tournament, I was still in high school. 1974.
Wow. Tournament had like 32 teams back then, didn't it?
That's right.
Back?
Yep. Losses this season, well, you know, they're quality losses. The problem is
no quality wins.
There you go.
Yeah. That neutral floor win at Maryland has continued to kind of slide backwards in terms of power. And Kentucky has to make the most of those wins or those opportunities they have left in this league.
Noel cut off on the baseline. Nice defense by Macanjula.
Now that was a wall. Nerlens Noel tried to go through a wall, and you're not going to do it. You have to go above the wall.
And now Noel gets a steal and a foul before they can break away for the basket.
Well, I think that's the 5th turnover by Trey Golden. I know Conzo has liked a lot of his plays, and this is the wall that I'm talking about. That's a strong wall, and he keeps his arms up, doesn't come down. And Nerlens Noel leg strength will eventually continue to grow and catch up with his body, because right now those contact plays bother this young man.
They list him at 228 pounds. That's a maybe. Wilcher, wraparound pass to Noel. Look out on the landing. And a foul on Tennessee.
Wilcher is really passing that ball well. With his back to the basket or facing the basket, Wilcher has been a play starter the last 2 or 3 possessions. And Noel with good hands, but again, the value of this kid on the offensive end is so important for Kentucky going forward. And Nerlens Noel, why is he hard to guard? Quick explosion. It's unique and bizarre how quick he gets off the floor. He's a play starter because of his ability with both right and left hands, Brad. He can pass, he can dribble, handoff, and steals and blocks. Because he leads Kentucky in those areas, he starts the play in transition, and he will also finish the play in transition off of his own steals and blocks.
So Noel gets another chance on a lane violation by Tennessee. Missed the first attempt at a three-point play. Connects on the second try. Those are his first 3 points of the ball game, and it gives Kentucky an 8-point lead, biggest margin of the night. This is where Tennessee's got to do something about it offensively to not let this opportunity on the road slip away.
Kentucky trying to speed Tennessee up, especially Trey Golden.
Nice pass inside, block, shot by either Wilcher or Noel. I'm not sure who got it. Kentucky in transition. The 3 goes, but the whistle blew. Offensive foul.
Archie Goodwin doesn't stop as well as I wish he would, and he has to develop that play. Kentucky, they will fight each other to block his shot, and you can really bring a crowd, and you have to be able to have kickouts. But on the other end, Archie Goodwin, Brad, I talked about his burst. He has to get better breaks because that time he couldn't put them on fast enough.
Golden almost threw it away again. Remember, we told you at the shoot-around, Contra Martin said Trey Golden's game and Jarnell Stokes' game will have a big impact on how we play tonight, and neither has played well. And just as I say that, Golden comes up with a tough shot in the lane.
Yeah, Harrow's not guarding his spot. And he's chasing the basketball about 40 feet away, and he doesn't delete the drive. He allows a straight line drive, and the strength of Golden. This is one thing that this kid does have as a lead guard, about 215 pounds, and he gets his body on Harrow's body. It's advantage orange.
See if he can cap off the three-point play. Nope. Noel gets his hands on it on the baseline. May's got his man in the air. He'll take the baseline jumper. And it goes.
Just the subtlest of a ball fake got him into room and rhythm for a jump shot. Really well done.
McCray, he's got to be what he was in the first half. And right now, Kentucky's not going to let him. They've got 3 guys draped all over him. Don't miss double dip of NBA action tomorrow on ESPN. James Harden and the Rockets against Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks at 8 at 10:30. LeBron and the Heat. Steph Curry and the Warriors. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm. Coverage starts with Kia NBA Countdown at 7:30.
We're at Tennessee trying to get to the next TV timeout. They have 4 timeouts to use. And Konzo might want to use one right now and keep this thing from going to a 10-point advantage.
Might want to use one right here and not get the ball inbounds. They finally do to Kenny Hall. And back in the hands of McCray, who's been held scoreless in this half. Long 3. And rebound kept alive by Derek Reese, the freshman on the baseline. Now he's going to drive on his own. Left hand a little bit short as Noel got in his way. Harrow through the traffic. Missed the shot, and now Tennessee should have numbers. And then we're going to pull it out. McCray on a runner. Got it.
Another shot outside of the box that you have to make against Kentucky. And you have to make more than you normally make. And McCray is the guy that's doing it so far, keeping Tennessee in this ball game.
In it they are. Down 6, 12:41 to go.
Probably the toughest environment to play in is Rupp Arena. Great atmosphere, great fan support, and it's a fun place to play.
Not only do they have 23,000 of the most passionate fans in all of college sports, but when you're going against 5 or 6 first-round picks year in and year out, it makes for a difficult task.
Indeed, and for Tennessee, the task completed the last time they did it. That guy, Chris Lofton, had 31 in a 75-67 win. Tennessee's last win at Rupp. Jimmy and I were here to watch it, and one of the great shooters in the last couple of decades in the SEC, Chris Lofton.
He can make covered up threes as well as anybody that's played in this league because he had a little bit of a lean back to him with a high release. He made guarded threes about as good as any college guard I've seen in a long, long time.
And John Jenkins from Vandy last year, two of my favorite shooters. I think. And foul. And it's going to be on Stokes, and it's going to put Kentucky in 1-1.
Tennessee continues to shove and show defensively on any on-ball action Kentucky's trying to run. They're shoving it into the screen and showing with a help defender, and that time Stokes helped too hard and too fast and actually grabbed from behind.
Stokes was a factor maybe for the first 8 minutes of the game and has not been one because of foul trouble since. So Cauley-Stein goes to the free throw line where he's a little bit better than his percentage on the season so far. He's hit 1 of 2. And going to be a foul on the rebound. Cauley-Stein, who missed the free throw and then picked up the foul on Macanjula.
Brad sitting here courtside. Kentucky is pretty quiet defensively. In the very first practice this year, the very first team drill I was at, John Calipari stopped the drill and he said, who has said a word defensively other than the coaches? And it continues to be something that he has to, again, drag this team along until they take ownership in that area as well. But they've been very quiet defensively this half.
And as he was telling Shannon and you and I today at the shoot-around, and you mentioned it already, so many people are in these players' ears because they come in so highly touted as recruits and for the most part been by far the best player not only on their high school teams but in their respective leagues in their high school, and come in so highly recruited. And he said, and you know, it gets right down to where you say, well, where did you hear that you're supposed to play that way? Oh, from your barber.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm the coach.
How many guys are riding a bus tonight in the D League because they listened to an agent, an advisor, a barber, or a family member that didn't have a clue? A lot. How many guys are riding that same bus tonight in the D League because they got bad advice from their head college coach? None.
And the guys that listened to John Calipari last year, all 6 of them got drafted into the NBA. But they got it, even though it's a different batch of freshmen. Everybody's going to be different. And it's hard to have the classes they've had really the last 3 years.
Yeah. Still, these 4 freshmen, a lot of NBA draft boards are projecting them as first-round draft picks. I'm not sure yet. I got to see more. But to make that stamp of approval on all 4 of these guys jumping after 1 year.
Chris Cotter, Jay Williams, Coach Greenberg in our studios in Bristol. Watch this block by St. John's. Getting the break started, and D'Angelo Harrison is going to finish this with a sweet little assist here, Coach.
Sharing the sugar.
I've seen everything. D'Angelo Harrison actually passed the ball.
Amir Garrett with the bucket. St. John's with a 7-point lead at Madison Square Garden. Not so much fun for Creighton right now with a 3-point lead, but struggling against Northern Iowa. And you've got Doug McDermott, 2 points for Creighton right now, and McDermott's fellow Wooden finalist, Cody Zeller, hoping to have a little bit of a better night for he and his Indiana Hoosiers, looking to break a 10-game losing streak against Wisconsin tonight in Bloomington. That game follows our game coming up on ESPN.
Boy, Chris, that just blew me away that I realized that Wisconsin's won 10 straight against Indiana. They lead the country in scoring. They're beating people by about 27 a game. That'll be a dandy in the Big Ten coming up when we're done here. Right now, Kentucky struggling against Tennessee. In this second half, basically, Kentucky's had as many turnovers as field goals, and it's almost been the same story for Tennessee. They have 5 field goals and 4 turnovers. So it's been a sloppy 8 minutes or so to open up this half. Wilcher had the hot hand in the first half with 10 points, including a couple of three-pointers. 4 on the shot clock. Goodwin going to have to hustle to get a shot away, and they don't. That's a second shot clock violation on Kentucky tonight.
Well, Goodwin can't give that ball up. I mean, he's the best driver and playmaker that Calipari has, and for that to happen right in front of the bench and Goodwin not to attack. A bad possession with a short clock by Kentucky.
Again, Jordan McRae at 11 at halftime, has only 1 field goal in the second half. And he's back playing the points. Spins inside. Tough pass down low. And the assist. Kenny Hall scores underneath.
Brad, that was a terrific late find by McRae. I mean, he was on the verge of taking that shot, and then a late find by him to deliver it on the numbers. Beautiful.
Wilcher way outside, nobody on it. And it rimmed out, luckily for Tennessee. And they've got a chance to tie or lead with just under 11 minutes to play. Battling back from an 8-point deficit moments ago. McRae, double team for the tie, got the shot.
Yeah, his size right now is causing Kentucky all kinds of problems. Goodwin, to me, is the only guy built with a motor to check McRae. But the last 2 possessions, McRae has won the battle, and it's game on.
He's got 15, and we are tied up at 47.
Eyes over the top of Kentucky right now that's, you know, Calipari has to have an answer for.
Inside, Noel backed up Macanjula and then buried it. And a foul on Goodwin.
Right, to me, there's a lot of contact here. Boom. That's either an offensive foul or a block, but that's too much contact around the rim. Watch. Bam, right there to not be called. And Nerlens Noel extended his left elbow. The officials have been told to clean up that contact around the rim this year and make a call.
Macanjula. And Wilcher's got a handful of jersey down there trying to stay with him on the low block, and they don't call a foul on that either. But Goodwin picks up 3 in this half now. And it's 1-on-1 time for Tennessee. Look at the jersey that Wilcher has down the low block.
He had 2 hands full of it, didn't he? I'm telling you, it's a real concern, should be, for that Kentucky staff. Their inability to keep McRae now under control. Goodwin sits down, and now the next guy you go to is probably going to be Poitras. But I don't know if he has the constant urgency and motor and energy level to check this kid at the free throw stripe. That's a big loss to Kentucky's defense.
And remember, you said an hour and a half ago they didn't have anybody to stay with Elston Turner.
No.
They're having the same issues tonight.
There's no DeAndre Liggins. There's no Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. There's no lockdown defender on the wing on this Kentucky team. Not yet.
And we have a foul on the baseline. McRae picks up his second. So Kentucky goes back to the free throw line. Poitras, a little better free throw shooter than some of the other guys. Armani Moore goes out.
Brad, if you're not a natural high energy guy, then you're, whatever length your NBA career could possibly be, I think it gets cut in half. So if you're talented enough to be a 1-year guy, you're going to only last in that league about half of a season. If you're a 4-year guy, it gets cut down to 2. And to me, Poitras, that's the next step for him. He has all the tools, the body. He's a terrific, terrific young man. But he has got to get a self-starting energy level about him every time he steps on the floor.
Giving his team a 3-point lead back. 9.5 to go, and Kentucky trying to avoid back-to-back conference home losses. Noel swats one outside. And with that, 10 on the shot clock. Tennessee's got to be aware of that. Get a re-shot clock. And a blocked shot on the inside, and now a foul.
And again, it's the second defender that just eats you up. McCray never got his feet underneath him so he could power up through contact, and Nerlens is going to get that every single time.
59 block shots now in the year for Nerlens Noel. Trey Golden at the free throw line. 7 points on the night for Trey Golden.
And Tennessee did not shoot a free throw in the first half, so they have fixed part of the problem within the game, and that's what you have to do if you're going to win meaningful ball games. You can't fix the problem tomorrow. You have to fix it right now.
And when you get there, you got to make it. Yep. 1 of 2 for Golden. 2-point game, 9 to go. Harrow. Mays on the inside to Wiltshire on the outside. Noel keeps it alive and scores. Didn't score in the first half. He's got 7 in the second half.
That's that explosive quickness that I talked about. It's bizarre. It is bizarre how quick a kid that tall can get off the floor.
And now out of control and out of bounds with another block shot.
He has a mean streak about him too, partner, in the right way. There's no problem with this guy's motor. Again, watch how quick that he gets himself coiled. Bang! And that's in slow motion, I'm telling you. Live level. And again, on the other end, he gets off the floor for a kid his length as quick as anyone I've seen maybe in the last 10 years.
And when that timeout was called by Tennessee, there was a little jawing going on, so the officials wisely, one took Tennessee's team, one took Kentucky's, and walked them off the floor with 8:22 remaining in the ball game, and Kentucky up 53-49. ESPN's Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price, top 10 doubleheader. Michigan, Minnesota at 7, then in the ACC, Georgia Tech and Duke at 9 Thursday on ESPN, and also live on Watch ESPN. Your college hoops, home court. Brad Nessler, Jimmy Dykes, Shannon Spake. Nice run by Kentucky right now. They struggle a little bit. They caused some turnovers. Now they got their big guy involved, and they got the mojo of this arena back in front of them.
How's John Calipari won ball games, Brad, the last 3 years? His guys have always been together and tough, and they've been terrific defensively, and I think that's what he's trying to build right now. That's what it's going to take to win this ball game, because Jordan McCray for Tennessee, I think he feels like that he can get his shot off and get it in about any time that he wants to right now. Tennessee is not going to go away. They're 0-2 to start this league, and they are not going to go away easy. And there's the guy that Kentucky cannot guard right now with this lineup.
You just mentioned him on the inbounds pass. He buries the jumper. He's got 18 points, and it's a 2-point game. Here's the guy that's fired up for Kentucky, but he runs out of real estate and had to give it back up to the outside. Poitras trying to get the pass in, and a nice defensive job again by Macanjula to knock it out of bounds. Under 8 minutes remaining. Kentucky on their home floor trying to hang on here to get an SEC win. Tennessee trying to avoid going 0-3 in conference play.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
The old locker room, the new locker room, with the championship floor from last year in New Orleans. Hot tub, cold tub, place for recruits. Jimmy and I were down there early today checking things out.
You doing okay? Well, not a good hair day. Yeah, stay after it. This is a great.
Was not a good hair day, but I appreciate the use of the facilities.
we sent about a minute and a half clip, I think, to Sports Center that they may run tonight that just kind of put you and I's thumbprints on what we thought of that locker room. Maybe a little different look at it than what most people get.
Nice backdoor cut and a big-time foul as Macanjula is going to make sure that Goodwin didn't score.
Macanjula, to me, is a very, very good post defender, and Stokes on the floor, but defensively, they're really good. And Macanjula this time, he rotates over, but the play before is when he did a great job of shoving the ball screen action, showing, and then sprinting to take it away.
It's a good one. And that's his first miss at the free throw line. He hasn't scored in the second half. Remember, he had the last 6 points of the first half to give Kentucky its 3-point lead, and hasn't scored so far in 12 minutes and change in the second half.
Ooh. Ball had no chance. The ball had no arch. The ball had no chance.
Tennessee's got much of a chance here. 7.5 to play and only down 2.
Now Goodwin back on McCray. I don't think it will slow down McCray in terms of his aggressiveness once he gets his hands on the basketball. You got a guy with foul trouble guarding. Right here. What does he do with it?
Wraps it around on the pass to Reese, and he buried it. And a 3-pointer for Derek Reese. He's given Tennessee the lead. Poitras on the other end. Not a great shot. Macanjula with a rebound. Tennessee leads by 1 with 7 minutes to play.
Jordan McCray is really attracting the crowd now, Brad. They're bringing a second defender at McCray. Now he can become a good passer.
This time he goes up with the left hand and hopes for some help from his friends, and he almost got it. And now Macanjula with a foul over the back, and that's going to do it for him. And that will really leave a void on the inside for Tennessee.
It's a big loss because of what he does defensively. And you're going to see Macanjula, number 0, sprint up. Okay, so he's going to show on the ball screen. Boom, he shows. Now watch him sprint. He shoved it, he showed, and then he sprinted back to the rim and took away that pass to the inside. So when he goes out, that Tennessee defense takes a big blow to the chin.
It's not that 2 points. That's not what makes him
not at all
the player he is. It's his defense, his shot blocking ability, his IQ for the game, as Council Martin told us today, and now he's gone. And that's going to change things a lot for the Volunteers the next 6:47.
And it should change Kentucky. Kentucky has to realize the inside defense of Tennessee is on the ropes. And Kentucky has to go right now and get shots in the box.
Noel at the free throw line, where he's only 1 out of 4. Don't forget, Wisconsin, Indiana follows us, the Big Ten. Nerlens Noel, 8 points, all in this half. Momentarily tied it up. Our 4th tie of this half, 8th of the game. Playing the second one, but he got the loose ball and hammered it home. Big possession by Nerlens Noel. Drew a foul that got the big guy out for Tennessee, hit 1 free throw, and then slammed the second on the miss. And now Kentucky's got a foul on the inside.
When Tennessee makes a bad mistake on the road, you've got to step in front of Nerlens Noel, and they don't do it. It's Jordan McCray, number 52 in orange, that had that assigned spot, and he was ball watching, and while he was ball watching, Nerlens Noel was gathering.
Derek Reese at the free throw line. He's had a good game tonight. Freshman out of Orlando. Had surgery on his shoulder back in late August. And they thought it was going to be about 6 months before he'd be ready to play. He was back in 4 months and ready to go.
Now this will be the first half-court possession without Macanjula defensively on the floor for Tennessee. Where does Kentucky go with this basketball right now?
The guy that's going to be on Noel is going to be Kenny Hall.
Well done.
Nice pass inside of Harrell.
That's another way to do it. Macanjula would have been in position to take away and protect the rim.
Now where's Jordan McCray for Tennessee? See if he's got the answer. He's got 18 points to lead the Vols. Here he feeds it inside. Basket won't go. Rebound, Wilcher. Now ahead to Mays on the break. Probably a wise move to bring it back out.
John Calipari calling a set play, but again, this thing has to go inside first. That should be option 1 and option 2.
Wilcher will take it inside and try to get it to Noel. Might have been a push under there, but as it is, it's just a Kentucky turnover.
Now John Calipari was trying to throw the lob play, though, that he does with his dribble drive.
Golden rejected by Noel. Mays will take this one. Got it. Kentucky by 5 and 5 to play. Timeout, Tennessee.
That 4 or 5 minutes ago, I was talking about the breaks of Archie Goodwin, that they need to improve. And on that last transition push, he was coming with a head of steam, but he got himself under control and doesn't charge. You're not going to get that shot off against Nerlens Noel, Trey Golden. He's going to eat it up every time. Watch Goodwin. He gets himself under control. Mays runs to the three-point line and gets his feet set, pointed towards the rim on the catch. He was shot ready. The pass on time and on target, and a big basket for the Wildcats.
24th three-pointer of the year for Julius Mays, the senior out of Marion, Indiana. The biggest shot of the night for him by far. And with 4:59 remaining, Kentucky goes in front by 5. There's Goodwin's night. And Yarnell Stokes comes back in. He's had foul trouble all night long. From about the 5-minute mark of the first half is when it all started. And he's seen limited duty. He's played about 12 minutes tonight. McCray and Goodwin gets another foul. That's 4 on him. And McCray's going to go to the free throw line.
I like Tennessee putting Jordan McCray isolated in this ball game to finish it out and let him drive the hips of Goodwin, Poitras, whoever Calipari puts on.
Jordan McCray this season already has played every position on the floor except the number 5 spot. That's how versatile he is. But with him at the point guard, he creates some mismatches and some trouble. And tonight he's been trouble again.
He's slithery. You know, he weighs $178.
Yeah.
Weighs about 8 more pounds than I do, and he's 5 inches taller. But he's a slithery guy. He just needs a crack.
Skylar McBee in the lineup for Tennessee, guarding Mays. He's going to take another 3 over McBee, and he got it. Back-to-back triples by Mays.
The value of Kyle Wilcher with a ball in his hands. He has been a play starter 3 or 4 times for Kentucky in this second half.
Lead goes back to 6. Tennessee's got to have some offense here at the 4-minute mark.
McCray driving is your best offense.
Kentucky knows that, but here he comes anyway. And he's fouled by Goodwin, and that's going to put Goodwin out of the lineup. But back-to-back threes by this guy has given Kentucky a 6-point lead with 3:51 to play.
Chris Cotter in our college basketball studios in Bristol. A couple of games to tell you about involving ranked teams. First of all, over on ESPN2, St. John's has a 1-point lead, and the basketball getting late in the going there over Notre Dame. That's on ESPN2. And then Creighton with a 5-point lead at the half over Northern Iowa. Here's Mike Tirico with what's coming up next on ESPN.
Greetings from Indiana, home of the Big Ten Co-Player of the Week, Cody Zeller. His Hoosiers have lost the last 10 to Wisconsin. And Freshman of the Week in the conference, Sam Decker is trying to add to it. See you from legendary Assembly Hall coming up as soon as we're done at Rupp. Back to you, Brad.
All right, Mike, thank you. 64-58 here. Archie Goodwin has fouled out on that last one. And, Jimmy, they hadn't done a lot of damage, Kentucky, with the three-pointers until the last couple of trips down court.
Yeah, and Skyler would be right here defensively for Tennessee, Brad. He's on an island, so he's got to get on the hip. He can't allow a backdoor cut, but he's got to get over the top of this action, and he doesn't do it. He doesn't stay attached to the hip. He takes one step backwards. Kyle Wiltshire delivers the dribble handoff, and Mays makes him pay. That's a very difficult play to defend because you can't give up the backdoor cut. You've got to stay attached to the hip and get over the top of that action. Kentucky so good at burning you with that play.
Back-to-back threes by Mays. Let's check in with Shannon.
Well, Coach Calipari this week has talked about disciplined guys, and a couple times in the huddle, he's told his guys that he really likes the control they've had offensively. But guys, we did hear Calipari, he told us today about sustained energy, gut check time, the last 4 minutes of the game, so you know he'll be watching that closely right now.
And that's what they're into right now. And McCray, who's done most of the damage for Tennessee, knocks down both free throws. So another big game for him. Came in the last 4 games, averaging 24 a game, and he's right on it almost right now.
A good switch when Wiltshire's on the floor. Tennessee switching everything 1 through 4.
Wiltshire on the inside doing a little damage against McCray.
Brad, that is so good by Wiltshire to recognize they're switching everything on my action, so now I have a smaller player on me, and he takes the ball to the paint.
14 for Kyle Wiltshire, the sophomore. Pick and roll. Stokes trying to leave it for somebody else on the baseline, and McGee picks it up. Stokes drawing a crowd. Finally works that big body inside and has a nice move, but only his second basket of the game.
He got that body into Nerlens Noel just enough to knock Noel out of a jump spot is what he did.
Mays, the guy with a hot hand. Wiltshire. Now Hare on the baseline, double team. Wiltshire open for a second. Now he's going to drive and put it up off the window. Showing us a little bit of everything.
Kentucky's offense is so much better when Kyle Wiltshire's on the floor. I know John Calipari's playing those 2 big guys together a lot, but Kyle Wiltshire makes this team different offensively.
He's taking it inside. He's shot from the outside, and that time a runner off the window. And now a block shot, his second of the night.
And defensively, Kyle Wiltshire has not been a liability in this game, because Vanderbilt wore him out the other night in Nashville. Wiltshire has held up well in this game defensively.
They win this game. I think he's the player of the game for Kentucky. Notion. Now the dish underneath. What a pass. Got it back. And he's fouled.
You talk about someone hard to guard. Right now it's Kyle Wiltshire. His ability to make smart plays. He gets a mismatch and he goes right to the rim. You know he can knock down threes. But his ability to make passes, and again, there he is. Terrific position. He's not going to elevate like Noel or Cauley Stein, but because he's in good position, his length blocks the shot. And John Calipari will be very pleased with the minutes that 33 and White has delivered tonight.
No doubt about that. And Stokes is gone as well. He fouls out with 4 points. This guy, I think, the player of the game right now, as Jimmy and I were talking about. 16 points and 6 out of 10 from the floor. ESPN College Basketball is available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com with the Watch ESPN app.
Man, I wear that thing out on my iPad. I'm telling you, I wear it out.
This young man is confused.
He is confused.
Well, the guys sitting around him are wearing Kentucky. Maybe he just likes orange. I don't know. Nothing confusing about the guy at the free throw line. The sophomore out of Portland. And the free throw comes out. I mentioned he's actually the leading scorer from a year ago. Averaged 5 points a game last year. That's because all the other guys are new again.
Brady shot 50% on unguarded threes last year. He shot 36% on guarded threes. The guy can put the ball in the basket.
17. And you can see his teammates and the coaches high-fiving him over there on the sideline. They know that if they win this game, he's a big reason. Maybe not the only reason, but a big reason.
Now Julius Mays is trying to check Jordan McRae. I get the ball in the hands of McRae as quickly as I can. There it is. Go to work.
And he's going to be fouled by Mays.
That's a no-brainer. And to me, it took 4 or 5 seconds too long to get the ball in the hands of Jordan McRae with Mays on it.
These 2 free throws would put him right on his average of the last 3 games. Don't forget Wisconsin and Indiana coming up as soon as we're done. We got 1:25 remaining. Unfortunately for Tennessee, this guy has been the majority of the offense. There hasn't been enough help from anybody else. Macanjula and Stokes have both fouled out, so there's no inside presence anymore to speak of anyway.
That's why he's on a roll still in this ballgame, because he has great length and he's slithery, Brad. He's made plays time and time again over the top of Kentucky with that length. And he continues to be on a roll as conference play opens up. Terrific confidence right now with McRae.
Time running out on Tennessee, though. We approach a minute. They trail by 6. Try to pick up the defensive intensity. We're down to 1 minute and now 10 seconds on the shot clock. So it's been a good possession, just in wasting away some time, and then you finish with that. That's the way you run the clock and get a big-time shot. Quick timeout. Nerlens Noel tonight wasn't a big factor as far as offensively in the first half, but of course he alters and blocks so many shots. 5 more blocks tonight. And then in the second half he went to work offensively too. Right now he's got 12.
That he's a mistake eraser on the defensive end. The great defensive clubs have one. And a really good find by Harrell. And Tennessee was gambling. That's the last possession I think they could play out without fouling. And Harrell took the shot clock down, and Noel moved off of the basketball really well.
There's his numbers, and he's also got 5 steals. And let me give you one more time his numbers against Texas A&M in a losing effort. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 block shots, and 4 steals. Kentucky went back. They couldn't even find anybody that's had that big a stat sheet all the way across the board in the loss to Texas A&M the last time out. And he's done it again tonight in kind of a quiet fashion. Defensively, yes, you could see what he did in the first half. In the second half, he came to life with his offense. It's been a big plus for Kentucky.
Well, I think there are some similarities between Anthony Davis and Noel. Their shot blocking ability, their position defense always has them in position to block shots. Anthony Davis was a little step ahead of where Noel is right now. High percentage guys around the rim. Both of them developed into the dribble handoff action. You see Nerlens Noel growing into that role. He can finish with both hands around the rim. And that length is so rare. And we walked in the gym today. He's gained about 15, 18 pounds since I sat with him at our Charlotte studios the night he declared going to Kentucky with a UK shaved in the back of his head. So he's growing into his body. That's what a pro is supposed to look like their first year in college.
Remember, we had him in the Jordan Classic back in Charlotte last year with all the other stars of high school basketball. And he's going to get it back with some good hustle on defense.
They may look for elbow contact by Mays. It's not there, but it may have been there. I think the second time through, Mays may have caught McRae. Richardson won right on the chin.
That would be the second time tonight we've seen that happen. So that's Ron Groover going over to the monitor. He'll be joined by Tony Green in a second.
And that's
another angle.
That's a great trap. Well, first of all, I think Tennessee fouled when they first came up to set the trap. That was a foul that should have been called initially. And they didn't do it right here. Watch. Man, that is a foul on number 1 in orange. And because it's not called, now the offensive player is really put in a bad spot, but the elbows get high. You missed the first contact right here. Boom, that is a foul. That should have been called. It's not called. And now Mays trying to clear out space, and he's going to get called for the elbow.
And if indeed that's the case, it could be a huge turning point here because we still got a 6-point game, and that would send Tennessee to the free throw line.
I think there should be a push, Brad. I'm sorry. The last 2 minutes of a ball game, the officials should be able to go to a monitor to check a shot clock violation and who the ball went out of bounds off of. That's something, conversation that has come forth now because of what happened last week between Kentucky and Vanderbilt.
So all three officials over there at the monitor at the scorer's table. Again, that's Ron Groover right on. He couldn't be any closer. He'd be the third defender.
Well, that's elbow contact above the shoulders. But they missed the first foul.
So just under 43 seconds remaining. A 6-point lead. Josh Richardson checking his jaw to make sure everything's in place over there on the Tennessee bench. And they're going to bring both coaches over again and explain this. Meanwhile, in the Big Ten, Indiana and Wisconsin just tipped off. They're on ESPN News. They'll switch over to ESPN. Follow us as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, that's a big call. It has to be a flagrant one call. Now Tennessee is going to get free throws on the ball.
As I said, there's still 42.7 left, and it's a 6-point game. And here's Josh Richardson at the free throw line. He's not a great free throw shooter. 54%. But the fact that he's even getting them there could really tighten this game up.
That to me,
missed everything.
This penalty is too severe. I agree with the 2 shots. I don't agree with also taking the ball out of the hands of Kentucky. That's how the rule is currently written.
And 2 of the worst looking free throws you'll ever see, but it's still Tennessee ball and a 6-point game.
The rough effect all over the shoulders of Mr. Richardson at the free throw line.
Here's the guy they need to handle it. McCray looking for a foul, didn't get one. Holly Stein got the rebound, and now Trey Golden with a foul. And down to 35 seconds remaining, and Kentucky still in front by 6. So the free throws didn't matter, the possession didn't matter. So maybe it's not going to matter, and Kentucky might avoid their first 2-game home losing streak since March of 2009.
Could it be another game for Tennessee? They had one Saturday at Alabama, but they played just well enough on the road to lose.
Mays, big second half, including gigantic 3-pointers back-to-back. Kentucky trying to go to 2-1. Auburn, that's going to be a tough one as Auburn's off to a 2-0 start in conference play. McCray trapped in the backcourt, trying to work his way out of it. He did somehow. Golden on the drive, he missed the layup. And now foul in the backcourt on Kenny Hall. And with 21 seconds remaining, Kentucky looks like they're going to survive.
Can Kentucky win enough games, continue to win enough games until they figure this thing out and have a chance to win meaningful ball games against Ole Miss and Florida and Missouri and at Texas A&M? That's the quandary that this Kentucky team is in right now, because the quality wins are not on their resume yet, and there are few opportunities left.
Harrow knocks down both free throws, and now the biggest lead of the night. 3-pointer off the mark, and Harrow's going to be fouled again by Kenny Hall. He'll walk right back to the free throw line. So it's probably going to end up being a double-digit win for Kentucky, but it certainly wasn't that way through the entirety of this ball game.
Brad, one thing that makes it very difficult for me to just throw Kentucky out with the bathwater is you look at the talent and the size that they put on the floor.
Right.
I mean, how many teams have a Willie Cauley-Stein and a Nerlens Noel and a Poitras and a Goodwin? John Calipari is going to have to continue to be the leader on this team until someone else becomes the leader on the floor for him. He's done it before. No one's developed teams and no one has developed individual players better the last 3 years than John Calipari. And don't give up yet on what Kentucky could maybe be by March.
And rejection again by Noel on the other end. He's not done playing defense, is he?
Not till he goes back in that brand new locker room they have. So quick off the floor for his length.
Tennessee, final three-pointer. And that will do it. Kentucky, 2-1 in conference play. 11-5 overall now. And they do avoid having a two-game home losing streak. Coming up next, we're going to head to Assembly Hall, a Big Ten matchup between Wisconsin and Indiana. For Jimmy Dykes, Shannon Spake, and our entire ESPN crew from Lexington, Brad Nessel saying so long. Let's send it to Bloomington and Mike Tirico. Michael.